Hi there, welcome back to Hymie's Place. I'm glad you could join me. I appreciate all the subscribers, that's great. And for all you newbies, if you want to subscribe, just hit those buttons below. You know what to do. You're on YouTube, you know how it works. Thank you for all the participants in the videos as well, in the channel as well. That's fantastic, and I really appreciate it from everybody. Okay, so today we've got another hard topic. We seem to be running on this thing of health and situations at the moment, so let's do another one. Drugs and alcohol, as he scratches his nose and says. Okay, drugs and alcohol. Yeah, it's everywhere. Has been for a long time. Always will be. It's not going to stop anywhere. You know, it's not going to do anything. It's just how we control it, and we don't let it control us. Addiction's a terrible thing. Lots of people get addicted to lots of different things. Like, you know, I think I was an alcoholic back in the younger days. I did do the 12 steps. I went through that. I can drink now. I'm not a true alcoholic, as they say, but I did have a fair battle with alcoholism back in my younger days. You know, with drugs, yes, I've done drugs, just your recreational drugs, a bit of speed, a bit of smoke, a bit of marijuana and so forth, and that's it. You know, I stopped everything that I do, that I used to do, on July the 14th, 1991. How do I know that date? Because that's the day that my daughter was born, and I said I would never touch another drug. So there you go. So since that day, I've not had one iota of drugs. So, right? So there you go. I have drank, and I've drank a lot, and I'm not proud of my drinking, and I used to drink a hell of a lot. And if some of the people listen to what I'm saying now knew me back then, where the name Hymie comes from, they could vouch for, and they could tell you how much alcohol used to go past these lips. And it was a hell of a lot. All right? Now, that's not to say that for bragging, that's just to let you know that I've had fair experience at it. Right? I'm an Aussie. I've had fair experience at it. Most Aussies do get a good experience at drinking. It's a life hack in Australia to be able to drink, and to be able to drink a hell of a lot. And I'm not just talking a couple of drinks, I'm talking a hell of a lot. So that was one of the things that had effect on my life, and mainly negative effect. I had some good times when I was drinking that with people and so forth, but then all the negative connotations come in as well. I used to do all the things that everyone else done, make an arsehole of myself, fight, broken noses, you name it, you know, all those things. Yes, I've done them all, right? I've done them all, and it's not pretty, and it's not easy to get out of, right? It's not easy to get out of. I made a conscious decision probably close to around about the time I stopped smoking, about 10 years ago, that I'd stop drinking the way I was drinking. I can still have a beer or two, I've got no problems, right? But the way I was drinking was probably a little bit more than 10 years ago. I stopped drinking like that, but 10 years ago I made a conscious decision, around about the same time that I stopped smoking, was because one goes hand in hand with the other, is that I'll slow my drinking down. So for the last 10 years I hardly drink anything. You know, I'll be lucky if I have a carton of beer a year. Right, seriously, you know, I wouldn't have 24 beers a year. I don't drink hard alcohol anymore. I haven't done that for years. So I don't drink wine, and I don't carry on, right? So that's just me, and I'm happy with that, right? And I'm happy to have a beer, and I'm happy to have a wine, but I won't touch any hard liquor anymore, right? That's just the way I am, right? I have gone and visited friends and so forth, right? And had a session or two, and, you know, had a drink with one or too many, and, you know, that's the way it goes. That's what life happens, right? But overall, drinking and alcohol is not good for you. All right, the alcohol and the drugs are not good for you. So you really need to have them in moderation. I'm not saying stop drinking or anything like that. I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just saying, when you consume in the quantities that I used to consume them, it is not healthy for you. It is not good for you, right? And if you consume them to that level, then I think you may need some help. Okay, and it's not hard to ask for help. Just go and see your doctor, as I say in most of my videos. If you want professional help, start with your GP. That's the best place to start, and they can guide you into whichever direction you want to go. So just start with them. I mean, I found a bit of help in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. Yes, I done the 12 steps. Well, the majority of them. I didn't quite finish them all, but I done a fair few of them. But one thing that sticks in my mind is and it has always stayed with me ever since, you know, the serenity prayer. That's on a lot of fridges and badges and other places, and people, oh, where they come from? The majority of that comes from actually AA. So if you've heard that before, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And it goes, God, now I'm not religious, so, but I'll say, God, you know, give me the courage to accept the things I cannot change. Now that's a bit of my philosophy there. That's what you hear me saying all the time. And once it's gone, it's gone. You've got to forget about it. You've just got to get over it, right? It goes, give me the courage to accept the things I cannot change. Give me the strength to change the things I can. Then the strength to change the things you can. That's pretty powerful, you know. You've got to have the strength to be able to change those things that you know that's wrong with you. This is where we go back into our self-improvement videos, right? Where you know there's something wrong, but you know you just don't know how to do it. You need to get that strength behind you to be able to change the things that you can. Okay, so far you've got the courage to accept the things you cannot change, the strength to change the things you can, and now you need the wisdom to know the difference between the two. Okay, so you need the wisdom to know what you can change, and you can do something about what you can't change, and you just have to accept. Right? So give me the courage to accept the things I cannot change, give me the strength to change the things that I can, and give me the wisdom to know the difference. Right? That's a pretty powerful little thing, and that's stayed with me. That's stayed with me ever since those, geez, what was that, 25 years ago? Maybe more. I was in my 30s, so yeah, 25 years ago, somewhere there. But, you know, and now that sort of runs in the basis of my life philosophies, you know. I don't do drugs and I don't do heavy drinking or like that anymore. Like I said, I'm not a rules, I still have a drink, but I'm not a heavy drinker. You know, and some people, they can't do that. If you're an alcoholic, right, and there's many levels of alcoholism, and you know, you can't touch a drink, then you need to stop drinking, right? It's as simple as that, stop drinking. Right? Because if you're at that stage, it's ruining your life, and you already know that. I don't need to tell you that. It's already ruined your life. You're probably divorced. You're separated from your kids. You've done this, done that. You know, life is tough, and you need to. But you know, alcohol doesn't make it any better. Right? Drugs and alcohol just don't make it any better. Right? So you're just covering the pain up for 24 hours, whatever the last of the psychedelic drug or the alcohol is. All you're doing is covering that pain up, because once the effects of those wear off, it's back there, right? So you need to stop that stuff, get yourself some professional help, right, and seek guidance and get all your brain back into order. I mean, and again, that hits back on another one, you know, our mental health video. You know, you need to seek help wherever you can. You know, it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, you know. And look. You know, I've had friends and family that have been alcoholics and junkies, and it's not a good place to be. I was brought up in the western suburbs of Melbourne, and that's just, you know, a fact of life when we were growing up. It was there, right? There's nothing you can do about it. That was it, right? So I actually lost my brother to alcoholism and to drugs many years ago, you know, but, you know, he was just one of many, many, many that passed away during this thing. And it just keeps happening. It keeps happening. I look at the kids now, I look how, you know, they're putting up with the crack, you know, and this stuff that's going on today, and it's just mind-boggling because it's so cheap and so deadly and so addictive for them. It's just terrible, you know, this crack cocaine or ice or whatever they want to call it. It's going to be the scourge of our society for years to come. I remember I used to look back at those cop shows from coming in from America. For my American viewers, I used to watch those shows, and the majority of that cop show was all about ice addiction. The majority of the stuff that went on that show was to do with ice addiction all over the country. Well, now it's spread to Australia, and we're getting through the same thing, you know, and it's just a horrible thing to see happen to this beautiful country and to our youth, you know. And as I keep saying, our children and our youth need protection. You know, they need to understand, you know, that drugs are not cool. You know, drugs are not cool. But you know, we just need to put it out there and help wherever we can, help whoever we can, and help wherever we can. Okay, so I've got a couple of people and young people to give their thoughts on drugs. I went out and interviewed them last week, right? So we'll have a listen to what they have to say, and then after that I'll pop back and finish off the video. And if you've got any comments and so forth on drugs, just comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Drugs and alcohol.
Problem. It's a problem, yes. Problem because it's easy to get at the moment in this life. You can get whatever you want, you can get easy. But it's also a problem for your future. It can gives you to a wrong direction, and it will not go well in your life.
Lots of young people do drugs and alcohol, and what's it mean to you?
Most are good in small doses and through experiences. A lot never touch them. I've seen what it can do to people. But I mean, once a try is always an experience, and I feel most people should experience a few things once in their life, especially with drugs, such as weed, MDMA, various other things. But it's easy to get sucked in, and that's when you need to stop. Maybe do it with people you trust, so you don't get those addictive abilities.
Drugs and alcohol.
Yep.
You're not allowed to say yes. You're not allowed to say yes, thank you.
Yep, drugs and alcohol. It's everywhere, whether you like it or not. Do I take drugs? No. Do I drink alcohol? Yes.
Okay. All right. Drugs and alcohol.
When you're young, it's okay. You have to try the alcohol and get drunk with your friends and everything, but no, don't do it.
Don't.
No.
Well, there you go. It's good to hear from those people. There's a couple of interesting things on there, you know. George thinking that recreational drugs have got to try it. Well, when I was his age, I was the same, you know. You had to try it, you know. You had to try it. You had to try the hallucinogenics and things, and it just wasn't right. I mean, you know, psilocybin was my thing, magic mushrooms as we call them now, which is still prevalent around in Asia and other places. Not that I've touched them for a long time, but you know, you think that you need to try them, but you don't. You don't need to try them, and you don't need to try anything, you know. And if you do try it, it has to be in moderation. Alcohol, drugs, anything in life. You should moderate everything in life, even your desserts. Right? Okay, so that's it for me. Look, please share, like, subscribe, give me a comment. You know, I'd love to know your thoughts on the way society's going now, and drugs and so forth, and we'll do another video on something along these lines a little bit later. Maybe violence in the society, since, you know, this crack ice prevalence is there. Okay, I'll talk to you again. Thanks for your time.